Hi everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2021 Lexus ES250 all-wheel drive Ultra Luxe. Now, this thing shines. This thing shines, and not just literally, but it's got some great things I really love about this. Well, let's get started. Let's get started in the front. Now, we're looking at the Eminent white pearl. Now, I feel like after this video, I'm gonna have a tan from just how bright this paint is. Now, it's not just a white, it definitely has a lot of pearl shine to it. And it's just really good. It has like a pink, blue kind of color to it. So when those kind of meet together, it just has a really beautiful shine. So if you're thinking about going with a white, this is the color you want to get. So definitely beautiful. Then to add to the beauty, we have the triple LED headlights here. Spectacular, very clear, very pleasing to the eyes. And it also is adaptive, so when you're turning, it does light up that area wherever you're going, wherever you're turning the wheel. So it definitely helped out at night when things aren't illuminated in the best way. And like for my wife loved it because it's difficult for her to see at night. So definitely was a huge plus for us. Now, the grille. This grille is beautiful. I love this. I know it's some people don't like it, but there's a certain color to this. It's not black and it's not chrome. From afar, sometimes it does shine like a chrome grille. It's actually like a gunmetal. It's like the GX grille that we had from the GX loaner that we had, but I love this. It's just a beautiful design. We also have the Lexus safety components in the front as well, because after all, this car makes your life easier. Yeah, as weird as it sounds, I did discover that this car made my life easier as I was driving. Well, we'll look into that soon, but let's take a look under the hood and see what we have there. We get under the hood and we have, for this model being the ES250, the 250 designating the 2.5 liter inline four we have in this. It is connected to an 8-speed automatic to this all-wheel drive system. I don't like this. I don't like this. It's a little on the slow side with only 205 horsepower. It is a big car. It is a bigger car to need to push. And if it were just on the front wheels, I think it'd be fine. But the fact that this is going through on the all-wheel drive system, by the time it gets down to the power, it is really, really slow. And again, I'm being realistic in the sense of, I know I'm not expecting sports car performance out of this, but when you are trying to get on an on-ramp for the highway or try to pass someone, it struggles. It struggles a bit. And it wasn't just me, but someone in my Facebook group that was looking at an ES went with the 350. So they went with the V6 because they actually experienced the exact same thing I did when they were test driving the 250. They went with the 350 and definitely said it was adequate. So the fact that he felt the same about this and liked the 350, I would say if you have the money, go for the 350. Again, I understand I'm not expecting, I don't want, really out of control power with this, but when you're using it for everyday use and you need that extra power to get this big guy going, yeah, you definitely want to go with the 350. So maybe, oh gosh, I hate to say it, take off Mark Levinson system. No, because that's what the other person did. They opted not to get the Mark Levinson system and they regret it. And I kind of gloated about it and said, yeah, the Mark Levinson system is spectacular, but I do not like this 4-cylinder. It just needs more. Again, it probably, if this wasn't the all-wheel drive system, the 205 might be fine for front wheels to get the power. but when you're splitting it to the 4, it definitely needed more. Well, let's take a look at those wheels and tires and take a look at what we got there. Because this is the ultra luxury trim, you get what they call the split 5 alloy noise reduction wheels. Not sure not sure what that means, but I can tell you it works. I don't know what difference this makes. I guess it's because it's a taller tire. We're looking at a Bridgestone 235 45 18. Call it whatever you want, but it's true. It actually reduced the noise. This thing was really good on long road trips that we took in it, and it was quiet. It was really quiet. The suspension in this is incredible. It really floats on air. It feels like you're floating on air, but it's still controlled, so you're not really wobbling as much, but it is a very smooth ride. Whether it's slow speeds or fast speeds, highway speeds, you're not gonna feel the road. This is gonna be really comfortable. So if it's something where you need a car to drive for a long time and you don't want to get fatigued, this is it. And whatever noise reduction wheel 5 split means to Lexus, it works. I love the design. I love the color. It really works well with the white. And to be honest with you, I might have wanted maybe 1 inch larger wheel, but if it means I'm going to be sacrificing the way that this feels, that's fine. You could keep it. I'll stick with what this is. Well, let's take a look at the side and see what we got. We take a look at the side, and it's a big sedan. It really is. There's a lot of space. We take a look at the wheels again. With this, I'm still fighting if I really want to go one size higher, but sacrifice whatever this combination offers of comfort. I don't think I would do it. I'm still fighting that, but I think it would look better with 1 inch bigger. Besides that though, the white paint, the pearl paint just looks so good on this. And again, the design's very simple. When we look at the profile, it's just a big sedan. No big styling cues that really wow me as much as the front did of the ES. Well, let's take a look at what we have in the back and see what we got. Well, it's my favorite time. It's key fob time. I swear I'm gonna get really mad on this take, but there's nothing really exciting about this, except there is, because you have your lock, unlock, and trunk and your hold for your horn situation. But I'm taking a page from a comment of someone in the 4Runner video that said the 4Runner does have auto start. I've had users say it does. I've had others say it doesn't. It doesn't have a button for it, but this one doesn't, but it does. It's a key combination of things. So yeah, Lexus and Toyota just add another additional button. Makes our life easier. But apparently if you press it twice and then hold it, and yeah, it's blinking the things. Yes, thank God it did it. It took me so many times right now, so many takes, but it does have auto start, which is good to know. I literally just found this out and I've had this for about a week. That explains, yeah, I gotta look in the manual and all that situation, but you don't even have it in the paper. But either way, yeah, so it has auto on start, and apparently, so let me just turn that off and lock it. The other thing that is great about this is apparently if you put your foot somewhere under here, oh God, please work. Somewhere around here, or you do a movement. Oh geez. Okay, it worked before. I forget what I did to get it to work. At that point, just hold the button. Yeah, just hold the button on the key fob. It will open up. you have a ton of space. You could put everything in here. There is so much space. This is one of the things I love when I'm on the go, and I, you know, with having my wife and my kid and myself, when we need to go on a road trip, we need the space. This seats 5. This is luggage for like 7 people in here. So it's really a lot of space, very deep, very forward and down as well. So even with the all-wheel drive system, because this has the all-wheel drive system, so yeah, we just have a ton of space. And again, we have the key fob to open it up, but apparently, yeah, it won't close. So you are gonna have to push this button here to close it if you wanna close it that way, or you can also just put it down. It's actually very light. That was surprising about this. But when we take a look at some design in the back, nice taillights. You know, I like the design that it's sticking out a little bit from the body. That's a nice look to it. And we have this beautiful spoiler here. Really adds a subtle touch, but it definitely helps out. And of course, that white color. I keep saying it, but this white is so nice. It really sets it off. And again, we have the badging, all-wheel drive, ES250. But yeah, now let's go ahead and go inside. I'm gonna, okay, 1, 2, and then hold. Did it work? I think it did. It did not. I think it will this time though. Either way, we're gonna go inside and take a look at some of the great things this has. It worked, yes. It just takes a while, but it worked and I'm excited. You're gonna love what's in here. Let's go ahead and check it out. Well, you open the door and we are greeted with what Gabe called the peanut butter and Nutella. So we are greeted with this color combination in this. I was a little skeptical at first, but then really ended up loving this. So a couple of things I really love about the door. It's such a small detail, but if you guys see this little edge here was great. It was a nice little shelf to have, a nice little area where I could just rest my arm there when I was just comfortably driving. So really love that. And you know, we have 3 memory settings, which is good because you have me, you have my wife, and then when the kiddo is old enough to drive, he can have this. This is probably gonna last about 300,000 miles or so. And by that time, he might be able to learn how to drive a bit. But yeah, that is really nice to have. Small little detail, but the fact that we have 3 settings shows family. Definitely want to have that. The Mark Levinson system, which you guys know I'm not a big fan of for other Lexus, or Lexi, I guess Lexuses, but this was spectacular. This Mark Levinson system is definitely what you need to opt it out with. Perfect. And when we come in here, we take a look, and yeah, we have more what we call the peanut butter and Nutella color to it. You can see the seats are definitely a nice color and shape. These things are comfortable. The adjustability, everything. there is so much available adjustability with these, so definitely a great little feature to have. Yeah, we have that. It's just, you know, just your basic things, but it definitely makes it for you to have the right position that you need for this. And let's go ahead and have a seat. That steering wheel is nice. So let me go ahead and set my one, and you guys will see. Gets me to my position where I can reach things. So I push the start stop. Nice little turning on sequence, you'll see. Yep. So we have that there. And okay, so we take a look at the wheel, and again, it's that same, let's call it the Nutella color. The steering wheel has a Nutella color, but it also has a lot of great things to it, not just the color. So here we have your basic controls for, controlling the menu system, or the display up here. You can see that it's going to have that, switch over through the different things that you can put on this, or take a look at. It's really great. I mean, it does the job, and it's really good. The other thing that I really love is the volume. I have its own buttons here for the volume. We have your talk buttons here, and on the right side we have your more music things. So I like that it's split and not like some that have it all one side. And we have the cruise control option there, which is a nice little touch to that. The other thing about this is that we do have paddles up here. Honestly, didn't use them at all. That's the weird thing about this, is typically I'm one to really, push all the buttons, but I didn't need to. The transmission was fine. Like the auto setting, it didn't need me to be telling it, hey, switch over to this. I could control everything with my right foot, and if I needed it to downshift, it downshifted fine. Didn't have an issue with that. So I don't see the paddles really a necessity in this, or really needed. But I guess that one time you want to play with it, it's fine. Now this I find to be a little kind of on the weird side. If you take a look right above the wheel, we kind of have these knobs. They look like handles. They look like something you would, just kind of, I don't understand. But that's your traction control. Didn't turn it off. You weren't going to really spin the wheels, especially with the all-wheel drive system, with the, like I said, lacking amount of power for this. And here you have your modes. You have your sport mode, you have your normal mode, and you have your eco. Honestly, I mean, I kept it in sport just because I felt like it needed the extra response, because in normal or eco, it felt slow. Slow is the right word for this. So it was set in sport, and if you take a look, I'll go ahead and put it in normal. That's your normal. That's your eco, which is nice. I actually like eco. Eco looks great. And then we have your sport. We can jump up to sport, and that's how the sport looks. Yeah, I actually like that blue there. Yeah, so that's a nice little touch to it. Now what's funny about this car is it made me more relaxed. It made me slow things down, enjoy them, and not worry about, traffic. It did some things psychologically that I've never had another car do. The saying, stop and smell the roses or flowers, whatever it is. That's what this did. It really said, okay, chill out, just enjoy the ride, and you're not gonna get tired you're not really involved in the driving, in a sense that you're using your energy and you're exhausted after you drive a car. Not this. In fact, I felt rejuvenated from this. And it was small things like the big display on the screen that makes things easier to look at and, kind of go through, press buttons that you need to, that made this car such an ease to drive. Very easy, very comfortable to drive. We come over to the infotainment system, and of course you gotta have your clock. You have your awesome Lexus clock that is always needed. And we have a big screen. Overall though, I was pretty much in the Apple CarPlay the whole time. I didn't really leave from here. You can switch over to the different things, your different apps. But yeah, like I said, majority of the time I was just on Apple CarPlay, and just kind of left it there. Didn't need to really change it. Unfortunately, It is not a touch screen. And I guess fortunately, because yeah, it's, you know how I don't really like touch screens, but it did the job. And we come down here. This was also one of my favorite things, is the AC unit. The AC unit was very simple, but this was probably one of my favorite things. It's like a little button. It's like a little switch that you go up or down. And I love, it's such a small detail, but just kind of, I know it's stupid, but having that kind of like rotary, kind of like old school look to it was really good. And this felt really nice. My wife was able to really, you know, she got hers, as you can see, typically hotter than my side, but it was really simple to maneuver and she loved it. The way that it felt was really, really good. So she loved that. And then we have that side of things, the buttons for the media. And we come down here and this thing has seat coolers and warmers, so butt coolers and butt warmers. And we also have the steering wheel warmer as well. We didn't need it yet. I say that because yeah, Austin weather has been insane, but yeah, we have that. And another thing, that little button, watch what that does. So I'm gonna go ahead and press it and you'll see. Yeah, so it is a rear shade. Again, makes life easier if you don't want to have the sun blaring down behind you. Also, again, this car makes your life easier. Your kiddo, sometimes he is, you know, sitting back there, and if the sun's hitting him from behind or on the sides, which we'll get to soon, it's very easy for us to just kind of, you know, open that or close that, which is nice. Speaking of making life easier, if you take a look, my phone, so, well, first of all, that's the USB plug for the CarPlay. So you plug it in there. And again, the big thing with phones in cars is there's usually nowhere to put them. Not with this. Gosh, this makes things so much easier. There's a slot right there that you could just put your phone in and be done. The cable, you can wrap it up a little bit cleaner. That's fine. We'll just kind of leave it there. But that right there, as stupid as it sounds, is a game changer for me. It's such a yes, like I want this car thing. And you'd be surprised how much it gets overlooked. We have one cup holder in the front. So we have that one cup holder here, so which is good. You know, it puts it right there for my passenger to grab, so it's easier for them to grab there. Again, we see it very similar to how we had it in the RAV4 where it was split. That's a nice thing to have here. The shifter, nice shifter, nice leather wrapped shifter, no complaints there. Very, very simple. Again, my other favorite thing, the hold. This has the brake hold. Makes your commute so much easier. It makes life easier. And this, I want to talk about this. I hated it. I hated the fact that Lexus removed that little joystick that we had in the RX 350L that we borrowed. I hated that it was removed, but and it was replaced with this. But then I realized this is a better system. This is definitely a better system. You could easily navigate to things that you want. You know, if you want to go to the next track, it's very easy. It feels great. It's the clicking action is really good. I like it. I can see why they got rid of the joystick. So yeah, we have that there. Then we come over here to this cup holder. I don't know if you guys can see it, it's a little, there we go. But this cup holder has two things. So it has your regular cup holder, and whenever you have those Texas, so you can see that when I put this water there, it's actually fairly high right there. But if you want to, you can take that off, lift this up, and then the cup your cup goes significantly deeper. Yeah, Texas Texas-sized cup holders. Very, very good in this car. And then we come over here, more peanut butter. The irony of me being allergic to peanuts. But yeah, we have peanut butter colored armrest, and we have your wireless charger. Yes, I just don't know how your phone will not slide. Oh, okay. Well, again, you're not really doing track days with this, so I guess it would hold with no problem. But yeah, you close this off and you're good to go. Or actually you can, I mean, if you're plugging it in, but it does have that little path thing. Yes, thank you. For you to put your cable there or through there. But yeah, and we have a ton of space back here, which is nice. Nice little compartment area. And we have another 12-volt adapter right in there. Now let's go ahead and hop in the back and see what we got there. We open up the rear door and we are greeted with a couple of things. So this does have the privacy shade, or the sunshade, I guess you could call it, that you can put there. So you have that, you just lift it up, you hook it up on those little hooks up there. But there's a little bit more to this. It's always that pesky little window that is always in the way, or has the sun peeking through. So you have that option as well. We'll go ahead and do that. Again, more peanut butter and Nutella happening in here, and the Mark Levinson system that I am loving in this. Now we take a look at my kid's seat, and he definitely has enough space. He has a lot of space available for him to, you know, sit comfortably back here. And he was able to, you know, his seat was typically reclines a little bit more, had no issues with this, so really loving that. We also have the 2 USB connections back here and a nice 12-volt just in case that's needed. But overall, there is a ton of space back here. I really am loving it. And yeah, let's go ahead and sit in here, and yeah, you can see the difference. The camera will definitely show you that little strip of light there is without the sunshade. This is with the sunshade, so it does do some blocking, so it does really help with that there. Now, when it came to the ride, again, this thing was so smooth. It was incredibly smooth. There really is no complaint about this car other than the engine. Like I mentioned, it needs more power. It definitely, I get it. The 250, easier to sell to consumers that don't need the more power, but if you're on the highway, you definitely need more power in this. The all-wheel drive is nice. Again, I'm not in conditions this week that I can kind of put it to its test, but if I had it 1 week earlier, I definitely had the weather for it. I would definitely get it, especially now that we experienced some pretty bad snow here in Austin. It'd be nice to have as an added feature to it. And the 3.5 liter definitely would be the way we would go, just because when we're doing highways, you know, when we're driving on highways, we need that extra power to get the car going. That would be probably the only thing I would change. Some people complained about the peanut butter Nutella. No, this would be my choice, and that white outside. This interior would be my choice, which I know probably 10 years down the line. It's funny, we see these rad cars, 80s and 90s era cars that have these unique colors for that time period. That's what this is. This is definitely that color that, you know, when this car becomes a, you know, 20-year-old car, this is the color you're gonna want to have or look for in this, you know, in this, you know, if you're planning on getting this as a used, at that time, I guess, rad car. But yeah, it's definitely really up there in my I want to get this car, and my wife loved it too. It was very easy for her to drive, no complaints really, and even as a passenger was very comfortable in it. My kid loved it. He knocked out after a drive, you know, a couple of minutes in this. It really was a spectacular car. I was relaxed. I could care less. There could have been, you know, all the traffic in the world, and I was comfortable in my seat. I was comfortable with my armrest on both sides. It was just a really, really good car. Oh, and the tunes. We were blasting in the Mark Levinson system. It's just a very, very good package. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed my review and my look at the Lexus ES250 all-wheel drive ultra luxury trim. Damn, I nailed it. Remember, find the right gear. See ya.